So how long have you been involved with Artworks, and how did you get involved at first?
Okay, I've been with it, I guess, almost 20 years next June, and I went into Artworks in the old building to sell my book that I had just published, and got suggested that I should donate time to get my 75% or whatever it was at the time, and I never left. They wouldn't let me go. So I started doing just the little fix-its there in the old building, which was a pretty dangerous place to be in, electrically wired and so on, plus way too small. So then we moved over, 15, 16 years ago, if not more, over to the other building. And from there we, lived in the one half, and then when Lynn came on, we moved into the other half, which was certainly a much better building for us. And that's how I got involved.
And I came about 10 years ago when I retired from Ferris. And at the time, I was really interested in the Festival of the Arts, which is, of course, separate from Artworks. But they wanted someone on their board who could sort of be a liaison with Artworks, so I said, I can do that. And then within a couple of years, I was on the Artworks board too. And when I was still working, I kind of thought of Artworks as just this little shop that you went when you needed to buy somebody a present. I was vaguely aware that there were classes and things, but I really wasn't involved in any of that. I joined the novelty book discussion group, and that's just kept kind of dragging me into more and more and more things.
And now you help lead that group,
Now I
right?
help lead that group, yes.
And what else have y'all been involved in starting at Artworks?
I had a show in, I think, 2011,
And you have one coming up
have
next
one
year.
coming up next year, I think in July,
Something
COVID
like that.
providing.
We will have an exhibit. We don't know exactly what form that exhibit will take.
And then I do all most of the maintenance there, and keep the place pasted together.
Yeah. I was on the board for 6 years, and I was the secretary of the board for 4 of those years. And I've backed off a little bit since then, but we're big supporters of most of the activities, the Evening of Harmony, the Intimate Theater. I've taken some classes. Steve has taught a couple of photography classes. So there's always something we can do.
So what's your favorite part?
I'd say novelty, because I really enjoy a book group, and I enjoy this. We read, from the name, mostly novels, not entirely. We try to be a little better than the romance bodice ripper kind of novels. We're going to read American Dirt early in 2021, which has been pretty controversial. We read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn because we try to do at least one sort of classic book a year. And organizing that and getting people to come to it, and for the last several months, reserving the pavilion in Hemlock Park so we can meet and have more than 10 people has been what I've been doing mostly.
Well, and do you think you'll move to Zoom in the winter?
I'm not looking forward that far yet.
Okay.
I hope not.
Steve, what's your favorite part?
Well, for me, it's kind of a family, and I like doing the work, and it's fun to fiddle around with the things there and build things for the group, and just sort of be there.
What do you think makes Artworks different than other community art organizations? Why is it unique?
Well, I think it's a little bigger than some of the other organizations. We have a friend who has been on the board of Outreach, the organization in Mount Pleasant, and she is just amazed at how much goes on at Artworks and how big our budget is. And we're a smaller town and we don't have a casino, so we don't have as big piles of money sitting around in Big Rapids. My sister and her husband live in western Montana. They have a sort of Artworks in their little town, which is about the size of this porch. And so it's just amazing to me how much the organization has grown. When I was first on the board, money was very tight and it wasn't completely clear that we were going to go forward at all, other than moving everything out of the building. And since Lynn Scheibel came along and said, she's such a positive person, we can do this, we need to do this, we need to grow, we need to step out. And we did, and we are growing and stepping out, and it's
also about the only fixed place arts thing in Big Rapids, whereas all the other ones, you know, have a central location, I guess, for where they operate, but they do all their stuff outside, such as the Tuba Bach and so on. So, you know, we have that nice central location, and we're sort of, I guess, kind of like Schuberg's and the Raven, and we're sort of the only three sort of destination places in town.
in downtown. Yeah.
In downtown, you know, where people can really do something as opposed to just flat out shop.
And if you had to think about where Artworks might be 5 years from now, what would you say?
Hopefully in the same place. Hopefully financially secure still, and moving forward. And hopefully that Matt will push us forward, and Lynn will help us move along too in the background.
I think one of the best things about Artworks is the organization is so open to new things. It's hard to say what somebody's going to come in with an idea for, but if somebody has a good idea and Artworks can help, we'll try it, and hopefully we will get new ideas. You know, everything changes so fast these days. There'll be something invented 5 years from now that we don't know anything about. And I remember hearing a speaker a couple of years ago that said, this is an arts organization, why don't you have a 3D printer? And that had never even occurred to me. And as far as I know, Artworks still doesn't have a 3D printer, but it was a thought that he had, and you know, maybe we will move in that direction too. So, who knows?
Is there anything that I haven't asked you about Artworks that you
probably.
think that people, you know, thinking about 20 years of it, what would they need to know?
A membership to Artworks helps supports the organization, and it's reasonably inexpensive, and you get a discount in the shop and a discount on classes, and it's probably one of the most worthwhile ways you can spend $50 in Big Rapids. So I would hope everybody would consider that.
Yeah, and join some of the things like the book discussion group. And other,
Try a class.
Yeah, try a class. Yeah.
So.
Okay, thanks.